I'm Claudia Catania, and you're listening to Playing on Air. Theaters across the world are still sitting empty, but Play Me from CBC Podcasts continues to keep playwrights connected to a global audience. Even before the pandemic, Play Me specialized in adapting stage shows into unforgettable audio dramas. And now they're bringing their skill set to a new lineup of timely plays from some of North America's most acclaimed creators for the stage. You can subscribe to Play Me on CBC Listen app or wherever you get your podcasts. Hi, Playing on Air listeners. It's your host, Claudia Catania. While we prepare for a season of brand new plays for this spring, here's a favorite from Playing on Air's vault to keep you company. We hope you'll enjoy it as much as we do, and don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts so other theater lovers can discover Playing on Air too. As always, thanks for listening, and on with the show. You are about to hear Napoleon in Exile, written by Daniel Reitz and directed by Marsha Mason. It features Jane Kaczmarek and Will Dagger. We are in a bedroom. A young man is at his laptop playing a video game. A large Slurpee-type plastic container with a thick plastic straw by his side.
Need another notch. Boom. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. 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 No, 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 no. Oh, God, no. No, 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 no. Oh, no. Oh. Wow, this is the most horrible thing in the history of my life. I literally don't know what to do. Oh!
What happened? What are you doing? Have you been on that laptop all this time? Oh, God, I knew it. I knew you couldn't be trusted.
Okay, you don't understand what just happened.
We had an agreement. We said that from 1 until 3, you would play Minecraft. It is now 4. It's 4, Corey. You're not a person of your word.
You know I misjudge how much time has passed when I'm involved in interesting activities.
That is such an excuse. You know you need to monitor yourself. You knew I had an appointment. You knew I wouldn't be back until after 4, and you deliberately took advantage of that.
Okay, can I explain something?
There's nothing to explain here.
Okay, can I just explain something here?
We had an agreement.
Okay, can I just explain something here?
Go ahead.
Okay, I started out by knocking out a buttload of challenges. I also got a lot of nice clean stones to use. Plus, I suspected there was a chest in the nether that I missed before that I just knew contained all the parts for the end portal, which was really important because I needed to create a platform for zombie pigmen to spawn so I could kill them and get gold nuggets and in turn get gold. Now, to be completely honest with you, I wasn't sure if the zombie pigmen actually dropped gold nuggets, but I figured they did because I was pretty sure gold nuggets are implemented in the game, but all I knew was that I had to go in there with almost nothing because there were ghasts, and I could get completely pwned. So I went in with a half a stack of cobblestones, and my pickaxe, obviously, and my sword to fend off any possible adversaries, and I knew I was testing my luck, but just see what happens. Hopefully, I'd be able to survive. Obviously, gas can not destroy cobblestone, which is why that was so effective, because I wanted to create a nice little platform, like a barrier around where I'd be, so the gas couldn't get me, and I knew I was pretty high up, but obviously they can get to that height and still attack me, so I was just trying to do what I could do to prevent that. Also, I didn't want them destroying all the glowstone dust, because who knows, I might want that in the future. So that's basically how I quote-unquote spawned a blaze. Obviously, with Super Flat Nether, you can do that. But then he destroyed the portal! Which was, God, not good. That was not good. Not a good thing.
Corey.
And I don't know what I can do now. I don't know what happens if a portal gets destroyed, and I can't reignite it. I mean, I know I can kill myself and go back to the overworld.
Corey.
I know I'll have to kill myself. So hopefully, I can come back in, I can ignite the area.
Corey, stop. You have got to stop now, okay? Because I cannot listen to this right now.
Okay, can I just explain something?
You have just explained it.
Okay,
thoroughly.
but I feel you're willfully not listening.
I understand this is important to you, but you're 25. This is not what a 25-year-old man concerns himself with. What do you think will happen when you get a job again? They're not going to give you, a 3-hour break to play Minecraft? They're just not.
Okay, I really need to explain something here.
What?
I don't know. I feel sad and frustrated because I just don't know how to reach you on this, and it's maddening. This is so important. I've reached such a high level.
Okay. You have just explained it to me at great length, and now you need to stop and listen to me. That's discourse. Now, if you recall, I asked you to do your laundry. You've worn that shirt way too much, and you have to wash it. It's ready to fall off of you.
Mother dear, you know this is my Thursday shirt. I have my Monday shirt, my Tuesday shirt, my Wednesday shirt, my Thursday shirt, my Friday shirt, my Saturday shirt, my Sunday shirt.
I know your days of the week shirts.
Well, I'm glad you know something. I can't believe we're having this conversation, frankly, but it makes me very anxious. And I'm not trying to have a meltdown, but you are really pushing me. And these are the times and the moments that I wish you were dead.
Now, how do you think that makes me feel when you say such a hateful thing?
How do you think I feel having to say it?
You are being entitled. You are being abusive. It is abusive. Now, we talked about your living in this house and being abusive.
Being a little Napoleon?
Yes, about you being a little Napoleon, a little tyrant. Now, I said that I would pay for your cell phone and the internet, but only if you agreed not to abuse these things and then abuse me when I tell you that you are abusing these things.
I'm sorry. I can't talk to you when you're like this. Do you need to take your Lexapro?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, yes, I do.
Well, take your Lexapro and then we'll talk.
No, we will talk now. Have you eaten?
No, because we're out of food.
We are not out of food. Corey, we have plenty to eat. I went shopping yesterday.
There is nothing I can eat in that entire Frigidaire.
Oh, come on. We've talked about this, too. You can eat food that is not beige. You can eat food that's wet. And I thought we were past all that. The same food every day is making you constipated.
Okay, can I explain something?
Corey, please. We have to go forward. We can't afford to go back. Oh, don't give me those doe eyes. You know what you're doing. You're being manipulative. Okay, let's just not talk. Either of us for a moment. Okay? What do you think you're doing?
Just checking to see if I got any emails.
Who from? A friend? What friend would that be? Or maybe from your old job asking you back after they fired you? Honey, we have to talk.
Okay, I'm sorry I went over my time.
You go over your time all the time. You're on the internet all the time. You don't do anything around here. You don't make meals. You don't do dishes. You don't do laundry. You don't shower on a regular basis. You're not exercising. You're putting on weight.
You know I'm uncoordinated.
Yeah, well, walking doesn't take that much coordination. You put one foot in front of the other. You've been doing that for years.
It's freezing out.
So just jog in place in the house.
You know what I think?
No, what?
I think you need to be on some other medication because this one isn't working out for you at all.
Will that solve the problem of you not doing anything around the house? Will that solve the problem of you're not even attempting to look for work again? If I switch medications, will these things change? What do you think?
See, it seems to me there are two different things we're talking about here. There's your unresponsiveness to your prescription and my...
That's right. You. That's what I want to talk about. You. One. Top of the list. You're getting a job and making your own money.
I did that.
You did that once. The point is you have to keep doing it. It's not something you do once and then you stop. You gave up.
I did not give up.
You gave up trying. Corey, after that?
Well, I liked being a nurse's assistant, and the patients all liked me, especially the dying ones. I would give them their meals and remember to smile and not mention death, and I'd help change the bed sheets and dump the bedpans. I don't understand why that wasn't enough. I did my job. But then the other nurse's assistants went behind my back, said I wasn't social. I mean, what does social have to do with dumping bedpans? And when they fired me, I felt really sad. I felt really sad because I knew there were plenty of old people, like including, for instance, Rose, the Alzheimer's, who just sat in the hall and held a doll that she thought was her baby. And I'd say, how's your baby today, Rose? They didn't. The social ones. And so when they fired me, I felt that was really sad. How's your baby today, Rose? None of them will say that.
I know. But you just can't ever give up trying. You just can't. You have to stay in the game. The way you would Minecraft.
I liked that job. The bedpans were nasty, and the old people smelled, and the pay was bad. But I was sad when I couldn't go back. I don't really understand how I'm not good enough to have a job dumping bedpans. It made me feel...
Honey, you have to move on.
To what?
Something else. You have to.
How?
We'll work on it.
Why?
You know why. Survival isn't a game. It isn't the nether. It's very real.
Why can't we... Aren't we a good team like this?
Corey, what happens when I'm no longer around? How will you live? What will you do? How will you eat?
Boy, you really are depressed. You should double your dose right now.
How? How will you? You think I'm going to go on forever? You're not 5. You know how death works.
Yeah, maybe I should do the laundry now.
No. Just sit down.
I said I would do the laundry, and I didn't, and I should have.
Okay, just forget the laundry.
A minute ago, you said do the laundry. Besides, I don't have any clean underwear. My crotch smells like old people.
I don't care. I want you to sit down. 25. You are already 25.
9,125 days. 219,000 hours.
Well, it seems like yesterday.
Well, it wasn't. It was 219,000 hours.
You know, when I first held you, you looked so outraged. As if I didn't deserve to hold you, as if my carrying you was an honor that you granted begrudgingly. I felt I really had given birth or rebirth to Napoleon. And that this would be your life in another exile. Somehow, I don't know how, I felt that. And I knew then that you were someone who would suffer all of us in your lifetime. I still think that.
So, wait, am I Napoleon, or do I need to look for a job?
Both.
Because Napoleon never had to look for a job.
I was at my doctor, Corey. That's where I was today.
1, send out a whole bunch of resumes. 2, doesn't matter for what. 3, put yourself out there. 4, make sure you attach a cover letter. 5, get a nice suit ready and just wait. 6, and make sure you emphasize the positive aspects of being on the spectrum, such as the benefits of having ASD are it might take you longer to learn the job, but that's because you really want to make sure you're doing it the right way and you're really passionate about what you do. See, I know.
I know you do, baby.
I don't like it when you call me baby. You only call me baby when you're sad or scared.
Well, sometimes I am sad. And scared.
Which now?
Both.
I don't have time for you to be sad and scared when I have so much dirty underwear to think about.
I want to talk to you about my visit to the doctor today. I had a biopsy. It's malignant. Where are you going?
Burger King. I think I need to look for a job right now. And I really think if I went to Burger King right now, I bet I could get hired, maybe even today. And I bet I could get in a few weeks before they started to hate me.
Corey.
No,
honey.
that's what I'll do. I'll get a job. I'll pay for my phone, my internet, my laundry detergent, and food. Internet and phone is, I bet you, something like $160 a month. Food is, I'm not sure how much food costs, but let's say $10 a day times 30 is $300 a month, and we're up to $460 for the month. Minimum wage is $8 times 7 hours shift is $56 times 5 days a week is $280 minus whatever, say 10%. And that leaves me with $252 a week times 4 weeks is $1,008 a month. I actually don't know if I could work at Burger King 7 hours a day, 5 days a week, 4 weeks a month. I'm not sure I could handle all the people and they'd hate me before too long and fire me. But then I could get a job at McDonald's. And then there's Wendy's. There's always dead-end jobs. But at least there'll be you and me at the end of the day.
You're not listening.
I really feel my time would be better spent applying to Burger King than listening to you.
Corey, it's cancer.
Call Dad.
Oh. Why?
Dad's good with...
What? What's Dad good with? What's Dad gonna do for me, for you, for either of us?
He's very positive.
Yeah, well, that's kind of an act. We need as much reality as possible.
I don't like reality.
Yeah, I don't either.
I died 4 times in 3 hours today playing Minecraft. I bounce back every time. Every time.
Are you saying that I'll bounce back?
No.
Okay.
I'm not saying no. I'm saying I don't know.
Bottom line, the most important person in all of this to me is you. You. Now, right now, you can't function without me, and that's a huge problem. And regardless of how all this will go, look, let's just take this as a big wake-up call. Let's think together. What do we do here?
If you die, I'll live with Dad.
Live
Live with Dad.
Live with Dad?
Yeah, Dad. I'll live with Dad.
With Dad and Jennifer's daughter, who has an eating disorder, in that apartment?
What? Well, they have a sofa bed.
Oh, you think Jennifer, of all people, will be okay with you taking over their living room and sleeping on their sofa bed every night for the next... We're talking Jennifer here.
She does hate me.
She's afraid of you. You unnerve her.
Well, anyway, I'm his son, not hers.
Exactly. You're not her son. You're his grown son. Your father is married to a very demanding, self-absorbed, high-maintenance person with a daughter who has her own baggage. It's all about them, Corey.
Yeah, but if anything happened to you, he'd
what?
He'd be there for me. He'd be all over that.
You think? Okay. Call up Dad.
What do you mean?
Ask him. Pretend. Call Dad. I'm dead. Call Dad.
You're not dead. You're right here.
No, I said pretend. Now, you told me you just spent 3 hours on your computer pretending, dying, reviving. Now I'm asking you to imagine a phone conversation with your dad. Do it. Let's pretend. Call him.
Frankie, 14, 7.
So, what's happening?
It's ringing. It's still ringing. Still ringing. Oh, I'm getting his voicemail.
Okay, well, leave a message.
Dad, it's Corey, your son. Mom's dead, so I'm coming over to live.
Okay, good. That was really good. Ring, 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 ring. It's Dad calling you back.
That was really fast.
Yeah. Ring, ring.
That's not my ring.
Oh, we're pretending.
Dad?
What's he saying?
Hey, Corey. Hey, Sport. How's it hanging?
Yeah, I can hear him say that. So, what do you say?
Hi, Dad. Mom's dead?
And what does he say to that?
I don't know. It's a super bad connection. Dad, can you hear me? I said Mom's dead, so I'm coming over to stay. Boy, yeah, just a super bad connection. I'm pretty sure he said, "Okay, Sport, come on over."
Did he really? Wow. Are you sure?
Wait. Dad, can you hear me now? I said Mom's dead. Well, you know she had that cancer, and I guess you couldn't come on by to the hospital, but she didn't make it. And I don't know what else to do. And I was hoping, if Jennifer didn't mind too much, if I might come stay with you.
And what did he say? I'm sorry. I didn't know how to be hard. I didn't know how to make you want to get out and to drive you out, to be on your own. No matter how tough it was out there. If it meant living in a rooming house and working at a
Burger King?
Burger King, sure, slinging up Whoppers.
And double Whoppers and triple Whoppers and angry Whoppers and rodeo burgers and tender grilled chicken and tender crisp chicken and classic crispy chicken and spicy crispy chicken and Satisfies and caramel sundaes and Oreo brownie sundaes and chocolate and vanilla and strawberry homespun shakes.
Yep, all that. Might have been enough. I couldn't accept the fact that someone as brilliant as you should be cursed with such a mean life. The worst thing was to indulge you. I'm a selfish woman.
So you do want me to get a job at Burger King?
I think if we work on it, we can do better than Burger King.
Oh, you're confusing me. You just said now Burger King was good enough.
I know, I'm sorry. It's just... it's not just that it's not good enough. Now, Corey, I know about a job.
Where?
Well, where I work.
You work in a huge publishing house. Besides, they won't let me back there.
Well, no, not in the mailroom because you opened up people's mail.
I couldn't help it. I really had to know what was in there. It was really important for me.
I know, that's what you thought. We talked about it.
I wasn't just being nosy.
I know, but they didn't see it that way. Anyway, not in the mailroom. And not at the publishing house, but in the building. I've been talking to someone about you.
Uh-oh.
Just listen. I have been talking to the security guard about you. And they had a second shift opening from 4 to midnight. You sit at a desk and you'll watch people go home for the night. You just say good night to them and he said practically nobody even comes in after 6. His name is Carl. He's a very, very nice man. And he said he would bring you in and train you. And it's a union job. You'd be protected. And you wouldn't have to deal with people. Well, hardly at all. And you could take the train back with me. I could work late at the office and we could go home together until you get used to it. Corey, it would be perfect. It would make me so happy.
When?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow? That is crazy talk. I think maybe the pressure is getting to you. I think maybe you need professional help.
Please, just meet him. I have such a good feeling about this. He would look out for you. He has a nephew who's like you.
Like me?
And listen to this. Carl even told me that there's enough downtime that he plays his own computer games at the desk. I'm telling you. Your mother is taking care of business. But you have to make an effort. Tomorrow, you ride in with me,
I'll have to think about it and get back to you.
Corey. I have nightmares of you being homeless. I'm terrified of dying, but that is my last image of you.
Well, that's good. Nightmares of me being homeless will keep you alive. All right. I'll go in with you tomorrow. The things I do for you.
For you.
And what about you?
Oh, God. Me? Oh, what about me?
I mean, you. What about you? What do you do now?
I don't want to talk about me.
I do.
Well, I'm more comfortable talking about you.
I'm more comfortable talking about you.
Well, chemo. I'll have to take some time off from work. I won't be much use around here either.
We'll order out. Mommy?
Oh. Did you just touch me?
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. You can hold my hand.
You just heard Napoleon in Exile, written by Daniel Reitz, directed by Marsha Mason, with Jane Kaczmarek as Evelyn and Will Dagger as Corey. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We are here with playwright Daniel Reitz, director Marsha Mason, and actors Will Dagger and Jane Kaczmarek. Hi, thanks for staying.
Our pleasure. It's freezing outside.
Daniel, what drew you to writing a play with a character who has ASD, Autistic Spectrum Disorder?
About 10 years ago, a friend of mine was working on a documentary. He was editing it, and he asked me to watch a rough cut. And in the movie, the mother says to her daughter about her son with Asperger's, I worry what's going to happen to him when we're gone, when she and her husband, their father, departed the earth. And that stuck with me. And I don't think that's a big, huge revelation. I think many parents with children who are autistic say this to themselves. But to me, it just stuck with me. It was a note that I filed away. And I thought I wanted to do something with it. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it until about 10 years after that.
Well, how did you draw details for the character of Corey? Was a lot of research involved?
Some research, but he was so clear to me in terms of who he was that it wasn't just about his autism. It was about his personality and his relationship with his mother, which is more important than his autism. Just as more important, and then his autism was certainly part of it. But it was the relationship between him and his mother. So
when 10 years later, what clicked for you to connect those interests?
Well, I was at New Dramatists finishing a 7-year residency, and Will Dagger was involved in the reading, and I'd seen him act before in another play, and then suddenly this whole idea came to me, just watching him in my reading at New Dramatists. I suddenly knew exactly what the play was about. I knew who the characters were. I knew that it was going to be about a mother and a son.
So you're his muse, Will.
You're his muse. Will, what was easy and what was challenging to latch onto in terms of Corey's character?
I always try to approach acting as sort of a rehearsal process, just sort of trying to figure out the thought process of the characters. No matter who it is, what are they thinking, what are they feeling in every moment, and how does that instruct the decisions that they make? and how can I have how can I listen and respond in real time? And so what's interesting, what's fascinating and exciting about Corey, but also difficult, is that it's a farther away, sort of removed thought process than my own. It's also different. It was also different doing it sort of as a radio, as an audio thing, because so much of when I did my research, sort of, a lot of it was watching their face, the face and the eyes, and how much I could see what they were thinking through that. And with this, it's like it sort of takes that away, and it becomes totally just about listening and totally just about hearing and processing.
Well, today you all had very little time to work, so Will and Jane and Marsha, what did you most want to achieve, particularly Marsha, in the course of directing this play?
One of the things that I like about radio drama or comedy is you do have to listen really carefully, and your other senses are not as engaged. So for me, it's kind of a heightened sensibility, and you look really hard. What I did with them in a short period of time was to try and bring as much color to the vocal life of the play, and at the same time to meet the demands that the playwright gives the characters to have to accomplish in a short period of time. But when you're working with really good professionals like Jane and Will, you don't have to worry so much about their sense of being able to emotionally recall moments so that they can do it on the fly, if you will, without a long process of rehearsal. You are dealing to some extent in results, don't you think, Jane? Totally?
Yeah. But that's what's really terrific about this. I mean, on television, my goodness, it's all about results very, very quickly. So this was, as an industry veteran, I know I can do the demands of what's called for on television, but in theater, you really usually have a lot more time to discover things. But Marsha's from the theater. We're all from the theater. So having you as a director was so helpful to remember that even though I know there's a result we're going for, you appreciate how you get there. Yeah. And I also really enjoyed adding different color to this. Because I think when I first read this play, I think of it as a sad, dire situation. A mother who's not healthy and a son who is dependent on her. So when you gave me some notes about, you can really laugh here, or you can get a kick out of him here, he charms you here, I thought, oh yeah, just like in real life. It doesn't have to be, this is a serious situation. It is a serious situation, but they're human beings. And the love for each other, I think, always comes through with something like laughter or sharing. It also gives a huge history that they have, that he cracks her up, or he knows when he does doleful eyes, that he's manipulating her. So I was very grateful that you kind of encouraged us to explore those things.
Yeah, a big part of the structure of the play, from my character's point of view, is each increment of the tragedy that she reveals and the different ways that he tries to sort of compartmentalize it and escape from it.
I know it was particularly interesting to me from your point of view of dealing with a character who is not necessarily immediately emotionally motivated, but deals much more on a mental construct, you know what I mean, and an intellectual one, which Daniel was explaining to me. And I thought, wow, that's got to be really tough. I wish I had seen you do it on the stage, because that must have been pretty spectacular.
It was.
Marsha, given your experience as an actress and as a movie star in films like The Goodbye Girl and Chapter 2 and Cinderella Liberty, plus your experience as a director, what do you value most in people directing you, and what do you strive for most when you direct others?
You have to have a facile mind, I think, as a director, and then also provide a really safe place where the actors feel that they're taken care of, and at the same time, boundaries, too. After a while, an actor wants to have boundaries, too.
Jane, is there something you most value in a director?
Oh, my goodness. The glory of working with people who do theater and have come up from theater is night and day. I mean, I live in Los Angeles where a lot of, well, there are different ways of telling stories out there, aren't there? There are, even if it's a television director or movie director, if they have a background in theater, if they understand that this is about what do I want from you and how am I going to get it, it's so reassuring. I mean, it really makes you feel, as I felt when I walked in here today and you guys started talking, I felt as if I was back in a community that spoke my mother tongue. You know, my father's mother was well, she's no longer alive, but these people, she never spoke English. And I thought of how happy it must have been to be surrounded by Polish speakers, because you thought, oh, I know what this is. And I felt that when I walked in here today it was just wonderful to be in a theater environment of this is how we achieve what we do. This is what we value. And that was very, it's so cold outside, and this was just spiritually a very, very happy place to be today.
Oh, that's great.
Thank you. And so I guess on the flip side of that, Jane Kaczmarek, you played the mother Lois on Malcolm in the Middle for 7 seasons, and Bryan Cranston played your husband. What makes a good sitcom actor? Or a bad one?
The writing. You know, if it ain't on the page, it ain't on the stage. Mm-hmm. I was on a very, very tight leash on Malcolm. You know, they honed those scripts weeks before we got them. We didn't get blue pages. We didn't that, and it was line for line, word for word. And it was frustrating at first, but then I really started priding myself in the ability to do anything he wanted. You tell me what you want, I can do it. Because there was not time with the children and with that schedule. You never rehearsed. Very often the extras or your stand-in would go into the rehearsal. You'd be in hair and makeup, and then you'd come in and you wouldn't even rehearse.
Yeah, because they were blocking, right?
They were blocking.
Yeah.
And your stand-in would tell you go to the toaster on this line, cross over here.
Yeah.
So you would do that, and the camera would start rolling.
It's perfectly organic.
Oh, my gosh. Well, and you know what I have to say, though? I think that's so often why in television they will cast someone as close to that character.
Yeah.
Because you don't have time to find a character. I mean, you can give the best audition, but if you're not just organically what they're looking for. I've been in plays, things where the worst actor, the least experienced actor, was the best for that part because he just had something that was just that character. Yeah. And he was mesmerizing to the audience, even if he wasn't making clean choices. Because he so filled the soul of the character. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when you're working in sitcom, do you automatically know which actors are theater trained and which ones aren't?
Kinda. The ones who can take direction, the ones that don't make big. Well, I was doing this because I wanted, just take the note. Just take the note. Right? Or actors that do it the same way over, that they don't have any technique. They don't have. You can give a detailed direction, and they say, "I got it," and then it's.
Exactly
as it was.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here. It was a great pleasure. Daniel Reitz, Will Dagger, Jane Kaczmarek, and Marsha Mason.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Terrific experience.
You've been listening to Playing on Air, Great American Short Plays with Great American Actors. Associate producer, Michelle O'Brien. Literary manager, Bonnie Antosh. Literary assistant, Aditya Pratama. Marketing and communications manager, Shelley Horwitz. Theme and play music, Tom Cochan. Recording and sound design, John Kilgore. Playing on Air is distributed by PRX, Public Radio Exchange. For Playing on Air, I'm your host, Claudia Catania. Thanks for listening.